Guys, it's me, Wifies. You may remember last week's Tech Tuesday, I did a video about saying the Cauldron was useless. Actually, two weeks ago, I believe. And, well, a lot of you guys backlashed on that video. Nobody got many dislikes, but I was pretty much talking about how the Cauldron can scam you out of good water's worth. And while that is true, the Cauldron is not actually useless. It does have a few uses that I want to showcase in today's video, 10 of them to be exact. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy, and be sure to subscribe if you learned something new, or if you just had fun watching the video. Anyway, that said, let's get right into it. Also, before I begin, if I did miss any use, then be sure to let me know in the comments below. But we're going to be starting off with the first use, which is the Doop Trick. And let me just go in survival right here for the rest of the video. And the Doop Trick is something that was actually brought to my attention in the comments, and it's actually a very, very cool idea. If you want to make an infinite water source, but you only have one bucket of water, you can actually use a cauldron to do it. So that's pretty useful. Anyway, what you do is that you put your water in here, and then you just grab as many bottles. 3 is probably the good amount, so I'm just going to drink this one. And now 1, 2, 3, and then boom, you have another water source. And now you can just have infinite water just like that. The next use is a nether extinguisher. If you guys know, water cannot be placed in the nether. It will just dry up immediately, and you won't even be able to clutch with it for a second. And which is why it's really cool that in the nether, you can actually place water inside a cauldron, which is a very nice use for the cauldron. Now, if I just go and light myself on fire, and I hope I don't die, but if I just light myself on fire just like that, you can see I will be put out once I hop into the cauldron. One water layer does sink, but it is really cool that you can actually place water in the nether. So yeah, that's another use. The next use is decoration. The cauldron is a very decorative block and can be used in a variety of different ways, as a toilet, or as a sink, or as a little leaf holder right there. This is really cool. And it also works as a great ceiling design. The bottom of a cauldron, it is quite expensive, but it does look really, really cool as a ceiling. I think it looks lovely. The next use is compactness. Regretfully, a cauldron is the only block that can encase water within an area without having to have walls around it. And what I mean by that is all the one block blocks that can be waterlogged require walls, or else the water will spill out everywhere. However, in a cauldron, the water is confined and will not spill out whatsoever, making this a pretty nice use of the cauldron. It's really convenient sometimes. Now, this next use is a bit of a scam because it's not an actual use, but it is a concept that I thought of, and I'm sure many people want implemented in the game as well. But that is the ability to store lava and potions in the cauldron. Obviously, lava cannot actually be stored in the cauldron, which would be really cool. And the same thing with potions. What I thought would be amazing if you could just like drop a potion into a cauldron, and then you can store potions. So instead of getting like water from the cauldron, you can take like a fire resistance potion or a healing potion, and that would be just really awesome to have that lying around in a cauldron. And I think that implementing that into the game will make this a much more loved feature. But yeah, this is just a concept, and I hope it does get in. Now, a lot of you guys commented that the cauldron can be used as a redstone block. It is a redstone movable block that gives an output with a comparator, so it's super convenient. And a lot of you guys also said, if I can just find the bottles right here, you guys also said that you can actually alter the pulse length by doing this with the cauldron. And yeah, that is true, and it is a definite use. I actually recommend the use of a composter. A composter can have, I believe, 6 or 7 different inputs, instead of just the 4 from the cauldron. The composter, I believe, has 6 or 7 different inputs, and it can be moved just as easily. Right now it has nothing in it, so obviously it wouldn't give anything. But if I were to just give myself seeds, melons, or at least, boom, you can see it does give an output now, and it does work as a movable input-output. In addition, it can also be filled with hopper, and the cauldron has to be filled manually, which is why I feel like this is a much better option. But yes, the cauldron can be used for redstone if you want. The next use is bottles. As you may know, if you guys have some bottles lying around, they're kind of annoying, so you cannot put bottles in a hole. You have to put bottles in a cauldron, which is a really nice, this is a simple tactic, but it's a really nice way to convert your bottles into water sources. If you just have a bunch of bottles lying around, nobody wants that. And this is a nice way to dispose of them and actually gain some value out of the bottles, if you're not going to use them for brewing, of course. This next one is a bit more technical, but it's about iron farms and villagers and such. So there's nothing in the chest, but now there's something in my hand. If I just put a villager in here, you know that villagers are unemployed when they spawn. And if you do want a leather worker, or I'll explain this later, but if you don't want a leather worker, all you gotta do is place them and buy a cauldron, and they will convert to a leather worker trade, which is really convenient if you have a cow farm. And in addition, for iron farms where you want to focus on compactness and you want a villager to be near their workstation, they can actually place them in a cauldron, and this is just really convenient storage for the villager. Anyway, this is just a more technical use for the cauldron, but it is a use nonetheless. Like I got leather workers. I will not be demonstrating this one, but if you have no water and you want water, then cauldrons can actually fill up with rain. If you leave it out while it's raining, I'm not going to be demonstrating this once again because I don't know why it just doesn't work on my world. But if you guys want to leave it out during the rain, the cauldron will slowly fill up, and this gives you some natural rainwater, and it is quite an interesting thing if you want no water and still want a water source. So if you got no water and you want infinite water, just leave your cauldron out while it rains and you'll get some water. That's a lot of water. And finally, you can do your laundry within a cauldron as well. If I have a leather tunic and a purple banner, or at least a red tunic, and I want to make it regular leather again, I can just wash it in the cauldron like that, and you can see it has cleansed itself. Same thing with the banner. Same thing with a banner. You can see, okay, so that was a different example, because the purple one, I guess, does not work, because it's a solid color. But the point is, I had a red splotch on this banner, and if you have a red splotch or any kind of design that you want to get rid of on a banner, you can just dunk it in there, and the design will be taken off. Now, I'm kind of curious if this works with the ominous banner. Okay, I got a ominous banner, and wait, I'm gonna go in survival. And oh wow, okay. So this is an actually interesting banner. I not know you can get this, but apparently you can actually wash it and get this. So I'm just gonna toggle creative and just quickly get rid of the pillagers. However, that is a very interesting use, just like the other part. Okay, bye. Anyway, this is definitely another use of the banner, doing laundry. Of the cauldron, I got kind of carried away there. Anyway, that concludes all of our different uses for the cauldron. That is 10 uses, well, 9 in a concept. And I hope you all have enjoyed today's video. Comment down below which use was your favorite or which use you didn't know about, and I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If I did miss any use, then be sure to tell me once again. But yeah, be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!